Hey, this video I'm going to talk about what Eckhart Tolle calls the pain body. And in the law of attraction community, they talk about, I guess, resistance. And it's like these patterns that exist within you. And you repeatedly run these same patterns over and over again. And this is like built up structures that constitute the pain body. And so this pain body is like resistance because you have, and it also can be called like mental blocks or limiting beliefs. All these things exist within you, and it could be as simple as like, when you were like a kid and you got told by your science teacher that you really weren't like cut out for science. So your whole life you just been like, no, I'm not good at science, and you carry that on. And like the time and effort that it would take to break down that belief and to like work through that long-standing pain body is quite a lot. And you just like never bother. So you always are going on these deep-seated beliefs. So the fact that someone told you weren't good at science then keeps you in this like job that you don't like. And you see this all the time. A lot of people's whole lives are built around avoiding their pain body. What you actually have to do is break it down and like go into it and provide awareness to it. And there's like an almost endless supply, really, of pain body. And I actually think it goes into not just this life, but it's like it can be like your parents' life, and I would even go so far as to say past lives, man. It's relentless, but you really do have to work at that. And so basically, the more you work at it, the better you get, and it builds up momentum, and you can, keep going, keep like breaking through all these past paradigms that you've had, gaining new experiences, and then you can be like sort of like the kind of person that you really want to be, which is like someone whose frame is strong, and then you're just this like you're like just like this traveling frame, which is then experiencing contrast, and the contrast can be like nature, like ideas or women. And I'm almost seeing now like meeting people is just meeting contrast. And Abraham Hicks talks a lot about the fact that, well, maybe it's not a fact, but the idea that we are non-physical energy coming into existence, into the physical form, in order to experience contrast. So at first it's like always pain. It feels like your existence is always pain. Like that's what my life is like for the most part, it seems. But I think I've been in periods before where once you get like on this roll so far that you're so good at breaking down the pain body, and you're so good at just like experiencing things and holding your frame into that experience, it becomes like, I think, as far as I can remember, it is possible to then basically your life to be joy. I think that is possible. It's been a long time because I went through a period of like avoidance. So I was like, because I have this like long-standing pattern of avoidance because my feelings were so strong growing up that I didn't know how to deal with them. So I just was like relentlessly in this pattern of avoidance, right? So now when I'm getting back into like facing, it's like there's like this like saved up amount of feelings, pain, all this stuff. And so it takes forever. But so that the goal is just keep it going and never stop avoidance behavior. Our whole society is built upon avoidance behavior. It's like all like escapism, like movies, and so much of that stuff, like alcohol, like all that. Drugs, like that's a different topic that I'm not going to get into right now, but I will. So anyway, but you gotta be like, you have to improve yourself. It's a constant process, and like if you're not doing that, you're just staying the same. And if you're just staying the same, like you're getting nowhere, because you're probably so bogged down by your pain body and your limited belief. I think it was Thoreau who said that unexamined life is not worth living. Man, that's so true, because then you're just this reaction. You're just in constant reaction. Who wants to be in reaction? You want to be cause, not effect. You want to be the one who's like, yo, this is what I want to do, and just go ahead and do it, because you have the ability to do whatever you want. In my first video, when I talked to Jacob, the energy healer, he said, you can do whatever you want, and if your beliefs are limited and the only thing you think you can do is work at McDonald's, then that's going to be the kind of life that you have, and that's all that you're going to do. You're just always going to work for somebody. You're never going to achieve your dreams. But in reality, and if that's what you want to do, that's fine. Like if you're like come from this like horrible background, and the best you think you can do is like working at McDonald's and maybe become a manager someday at McDonald's, there's nothing wrong with that. If that's to you, if you have such severe limited beliefs that breaking them down and meeting those goals, if that's the best you can do, then fucking sweet, and you should be proud of yourself for doing that, But most people buy into society's frame, and basically what I'm about and what my kind of like mentality is about now, and what I'm trying to offer, the gift that I'm trying to offer, is basically about removing yourself from that. So removing yourself from that frame, from society's frame. Get out of that, and do anything that it takes to get out of that, because it's never going to lead you to happiness. It's never going to lead you to be fulfilled. It's probably not even going to lead you to be successful, like, to be completely honest. Like, mediocrity, man, is everywhere, and it's like that's what the system breeds, is mediocrity. And I don't know about you, but I do not want to be mediocre. Like, it's not even real. It's like if you were a caveman, you wouldn't be mediocre. You'd be the fucking best caveman on the block, because you'd have to be out there competing against damn lions to fucking kill an antelope, and you'd be competing against the weather. Now in our society, like, we have all this falsely built up like safety. It's fucked. And that's why people get like obsessed with weird porno, and they get junked out on like real crazy addictions to like fucking World of Warcraft or whatever. And it's because there's not this natural sort of inclination that is like fight for your own survival. We've dampened that down to some degree. So you have to get back in touch with that. Get back in touch with your like intuition. And it's so tough to do. And like women don't understand, because they are way more intuitive by nature. So they're already, for them it's about like controlling their emotions. They're always running with them. And that's why it feels like all they ever want to do is like avoid taking responsibility for themselves, because they have these like wide ranging emotions. And for most men, it's like they don't even have any capacity whatsoever to engage with their emotions. Like, they just have none. Like, seriously, like 80% of guys, really it's way more, it's like 95, have like just none. They only can really deal with like anger and then like love that they have for like their kids or something. It's like it's completely, it does not serve us well. It does not serve you well. You should have this like wide variety of emotions, and that's why you need to create reference points and reach for reference points. And like one of the best ways to do that is honestly nature, experiencing nature, because if you can allow nature to talk to you, it will. Actually, the natives in, I'm at 10 minutes. You know what? Today I'm going to keep going. The natives in the Amazon, the way that they, I guess, manifested ayahuasca, the drink, was because they claimed that the plants talked to them and told them. And really, honestly, it's probably true. Like, the plants told them, like, hey, take this brew and mix it up with this brew and then drink it. And we're going to speak to you even more clearly. Check out Hypnotica. He's got some sick, like binaural beats and affirmation stuff thrown down there. And the more that I've listened to his stuff, I actually bought one of his programs online. But check him out. And he claims to speak to like plants. Like, he claims that plants speak with him. Like, if he goes into his garden to pick like a cucumber, he'll actually like ask the cucumbers, like, hey, which one of you wants to get picked? That's you know, that's, but here's a guy who's like super successful, like in meeting his goals and like affirming himself as like his version, his best version. So it's like, yo, that's what he's talking about. That's what he's doing. It's cool. Drink some green tea here. It's extremely cold now. Cold green tea, less than ideal. But anyway, so these are some of my thoughts. I really, you know what? It's like, I feel like I have something to offer, and you know, if you guys have any questions, fire them down there on the comments, and you know, go ahead and subscribe, because if there's interest, I'll keep making these. I don't know how people get like thousands of subscribers, because I think I have like a couple at this point and a couple of views. But you know, and I if anyone has any ideas, like recommendations for videos to make, just submit that shit, man. Put it in the comments, and I'm definitely going to read everyone because there's only a couple. And I know, like Julian, on his page, Julian himself, he reads like every comment. He gets thousands. He has, or maybe not thousands of comments, but he has thousands of subscribers. So, but cool. All right, that's all for now. Check you next time. Peace.